Hello and welcome back to our non-league to legend series where we attempt to go from non-league football management to winning the Champions League. We're here with part 8 of our stint at Nottingham Forest. If you are new to the channel though, don't worry, I will pop a card up in the corner so you can go back to the start of this series and follow on from there. So today we have got two super important matches in our push for the playoff or promotion places, and that's a match against first place top of the table Watford and then a match against fourth place Crystal Palace, both teams of which are in very good form. If we have a quick look at our form since you were last with me, we have had 2 draws against Derby and Charlton, both of which are very annoying because those teams were not teams in form. We should really have been winning those matches, but we have turned this form around, beating Swansea, Reading, Barnsley and Cardiff in our last 4 games. The last match a 4-0 win against Cardiff with a hat-trick from Pietro Pellegrini, who's really come into his own now. We have just offered him a new contract as well. Unfortunately, he said he doesn't think our squad is strong enough to survive, so he doesn't want to sign with us. Definitely something for us to keep an eye on because he's valued at about £15 million less than his release clause at the moment, and if he continues this good form, I could see a team from the Premier League swooping in, snatching him up in the January transfer window or at the end of the season. But for now, we are going to get over, ignore those things, they are a future J problem, and we're going to focus on our 2 matches in today's episode. This is the team we are going to be using for that match against first place Watford. We've got Ward in goal, a back 4 of Sorensen, Colwill, Bernard and Moray. We've then got Garner, Yates and Ojeda in midfield. We've got Asprilla out on the left, Johnson out on the right and Pellegrini up front. Although, as I've said that, I've just realised that Asprilla isn't showing up. Is he injured? No, I forgot that. Asprilla, of course, not available for this match because he is on loan from Watford and can't play against his parent club. So we're going to have to quickly sort this position out over here. So we could bring in Alex Milan, but he's not fully fit. So I guess we go with Chris Popov over on that side. And we'll also make sure we've got Carl Gretsch on the bench. So Popov going to replace Asprilla, who can't play for this match. As always though, guys, if you do enjoy today's content, you want to follow along and follow the rest of the series, don't forget to head down below and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. YouTube will tell you every time we upload. You can follow along with this series. It'd be really appreciated. I'd love to see some more people join in the channel, and hopefully in 2022 we can head on and grow the community we've got here on this channel a bit. Also, if you are new to the channel, I have installed a new skin, which is why the appearance looks a little bit different. So we've got the Zealand skin installed. I kind of like it. I think it looks a lot better on the home screen. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you prefer this sort of appearance? Do you prefer how it was before? What do you think? We seem to be, straight off the bat here, dominating our match against Watford. Now it's just going to be a case of, can we actually make anything of that dominance? But we have gone and got a fairly early goal through Pietro Pellegrini, who wasn't quite fully fit going into this game, and I think is only probably going to be able to play the first half against Watford. But that risk so far has paid off. Good corner in there from James Garner. Pellegrini getting his head to it, slotting that one away. We are away from home as well, so you'd think this would be a more difficult one for us against top of the league. But so far we're doing all right. He says, as Patson Daka, who is, I believe, top scorer in the league, smashes that corner home from Watford as well, and pretty much exactly the same way we just scored ours up the other end. And that's very unfortunate because actually we're doing all right. That's their first shot of the game. We've had 6 so far. And although they're doing better on possession, I think we're probably the better team here. We are going to see their throw in here though. And now they are trying to build their way into the box. Hopefully we can get hold of the ball here. Ward making a good save there to deny what looked like a pretty certain goal when that left his boot. But we've managed to just concede a corner instead. That's cleared fairly well by Colwill. Can anyone get there and just press the Watford player? Not quite managing that one. We are just going to make it as difficult as possible for them. They have got a cross into the box. Daka again though. He's a good little player this season. I don't know a lot about him, but every time I'm looking at anything about Watford or the Sky Bet Championship in general, he's always top of most of the lists. Hopefully we can go make something of all of these shots we're having, because again, yeah, we're still behind on possession, but we're definitely looking like the more dominant team in this match. And it would be fantastic here if we could go and win against Watford, because it is going to put us top of the league. It would lay down a really important marker for us for the rest of the season as well. If we can make something of this corner, it's going to change everything at half time. Pellegrini getting his head to it, but it is just, I think, clipped the crossbar as it's gone out of play. Such a good chance there to try and make it 2-1 in our favour. And I don't like we've got a highlight for Watford straight from kickoff. It makes me a little bit scared for whatever's coming. Hopefully what's coming is we're going to put a good tackle in, launch a counter attack. But Watford here not really letting us have a huge amount of the ball in this game in general, so that seems fairly unlikely. They've played it all up the way, up the field. Daka almost breaking into the box there. Our defenders have dealt with it all right. Pellegrini nodding it on. I see that far too often. Gets its head to it, obviously, and nods it on, but there's no one there, which in an ideal world, probably a good idea to have either a centre attacking mid or another striker up with him. But every time we've tried those formations, we've just got so overrun in midfield, and we've had a really poor spell of results. We are trying to make something of this though. Ojeda now into Pellegrini. Pellegrini's got his second. He seems on fire all of a sudden. He had a bit of a difficult start, to the season. Those matches against Coventry in the first episode of this season in particular, a bit of a highlight on his debut where he basically didn't do anything at all, but now he seems to be scoring goals for absolute fun, which can only be a good thing for us. He is though, even though he's coming up to a hat-trick, looking pretty tired now. And we've got another corner here from Watford, and it's another one that's gone in. Every time we score a goal, we're conceding one 3-4 minutes later, and it's incredibly frustrating. So annoying. It's the second corner. Maybe we need to be working on defending our set pieces. Ward hasn't even moved. He's just platted in place there and not even attempt to make a save. And again, we're looking like so much like the better team, but then we're just letting Watford have these easy chances. Our defending is a bit woeful in this match. Ojeda kind of made a tackle there, but Watford have still come away with the ball. They're just kind of playing with us a little bit here as well. Ward with an absolute clanger of a save. Saved the first one when actually we probably had a defender there to do it, and has just gifted them that goal, really. Yeah, it's... I mean, they've just played around us. No one's pressed enough. No one's tackled. Bernard and whoever that is behind Ward here, Colwill, both could have got that ball and cleared it. Instead, Ward's come out for it and made an absolute hash of it. And I do think we probably need to be thinking about some changes here on the 60th minute. What can we do to inject a little bit of energy into the team and hopefully get hold of possession a little bit? So I think we're going to take off Popov and put on Alex Milan, change him to an inverted winger on attack. Levy Colwill's looking pretty tired as well, so I guess we bring Fonseca on, put Fonseca out on the left and Sorensen into the middle. Pellegrini's also looking pretty tired, but I need to make those substitutions there first before we think about the Pellegrini one. It does mean probably going to making our third substitution pretty early again. Garner's got a yellow card as well now, so we can tell him to ease off the tackles. And if we're still losing here in another 5 minutes, we're going to have to go on the attack. Not that we haven't been attacking in this match. And actually, Pellegrini here with a chance for a hat-trick, which he's managed to get off that penalty. That replay was very quick there. It's sort of cut from the tackle itself straight over to the penalty super quickly. Pellegrini's put that one away. He's got his hat-trick. I think it's probably time for him to come off, maybe. We'll leave it another couple of minutes, but Pellegrini is going to need to come off. We'll bring on Del Taylor for him. He scored his second hat-trick in 2 games. Hat-trick in his last match against Cardiff that I highlighted at the start of the episode. And now a hat-trick against Watford as well, off a corner, an open play and a penalty. And if we could go and get another one here, that would be great. But what we absolutely don't want to do is go and concede another goal. But unfortunately, to highlight this one again has started down our end with Watford just playing us around with us outside of the box, and we've conceded another one. Manu Garcia there. I don't know what our defence are doing today. The lack of pressing is outstanding. I've not seen us do this in any of our recent matches where we just haven't even attempted to attack the ball. Bernard just completely missing his tackle there. Ward, I think this is almost the amount of goals he's conceded in the previous 20 matches. He's conceded in one match. I think he's conceded 8 or 9 before this. And now it's 4 in one match, which is going to substantially hurt his record. And it does look like we are going to see a loss today against Watford, which is quite unfortunate. It's going to put us 4 points behind them. And Luton now have the chance to catch up with us as well. I mean, we'll tell the boys they're unlucky. We did have a lot of the ball there. We did look pretty good throughout. Just not to be, I guess. And it's 4 points behind Watford now. I mean, I can agree with this. Bit of a thriller. If you're a neutral, having a 7-goal game, probably quite nice to see. If you're watching this and not a Nottingham Forest fan, or just watching it because you like Football Manager, then probably quite a fun game to see. Less fun if you're the manager, though. Let's get over to that match against Crystal Palace. We're not quite at the Crystal Palace game yet, but we have just got an early assessment of our youth team intake this year. And we have got 3 A's there: goalkeepers, defensive midfielders and strikers. 3 forwards who are considered to be fine prospects, which is always nice. One of our centre-backs looks alright. Full-backs, pretty shocking, as are the central midfielders and all of the ones below here. But we could end up with a good goalkeeper and 3 good strikers. So I guess that's quite successful. We'll definitely have a check back on that youth intake when it does officially happen. But for now, we've got to focus on this match against Crystal Palace and hopefully getting back to winning ways here with Nottingham Forest. This is our lineup for that match. We've got Ward in goal, a back 4 of Williams, Colwill, Sorensen and Fonseca. And then got Garner, Mason and Otterson in midfield. Aspria on the left, Alex Milan on the right and Pellegrini up front. If Pellegrini could go and bang in another hat-trick for the 3rd match in a row, we would all very much appreciate it. And if our defence could occasionally stop a goal going in, we'd also appreciate that quite a lot. That was a pretty awful defensive display against Watford. We've let the boys know in between the match how awful a display it actually was and told them to go out and do better against Crystal Palace. If only when we do have 15 shots in a match before half time we could put away some of the chances we're getting, we'd be a much better side. But you know, at the same time, Pellegrini scored a hat-trick, so I can't entirely say we weren't putting chances away, just not enough of them consistently. I feel if you're having that many shots in a match, we should be putting away 4 or 5 in that match quite easily. Instead of that, it was 3 and one of them was a penalty. But a corner here from Williams. It is swung in but cleared by the Crystal Palace defence. Williams has managed to recycle possession out to Otterson, into Milan. Milan with an absolutely fantastic goal from outside the area. This is why I like him in the team. He's been a fantastic signing. Remember, we paid no transfer fee for Alex Milan either. Got him on a pre-contract signing in January and just absolutely bashed that one into the back of the net from outside the area. Brilliant goal from Alex Milan. Completely come to expect that when he is in the team now. Unfortunately, in that Watford game, he wasn't quite fully fit. Maybe it would have been a different result if he was. Obviously, Aspria back in the team as well. The fact that Aspria is obviously our first choice left winger and we can't play him when we're playing Watford is a bit of a problem, because we've then got coming up a Carabao Cup quarter-final against Watford, shortly followed, in fact, I think 3 days later, followed by another championship encounter with them, all happening in December. If you remember from the last episode, I said we are playing Watford 3 times in December, which is a huge amount to be playing one team. Sorensen here, though, trying to build from the back. Hopefully we can go and grab another goal before half-time. That would be brilliant if we could do that. Williams turns into Aspria. Aspria forward to Pellegrini. Pellegrini slots that one past the goalkeeper. He is possibly the best signing I've ever made in Football Manager. Absolutely inspired signing, dropping a record transfer fee for the club on Pellegrini, and he's been worth every penny so far. and hands down will probably be the reason, if we do manage it, that we get promoted into the Premier League, and hopefully still with us in the Premier League, because I definitely think he can go and hang there with the bigger teams if he keeps up this sort of form. But he is going, fortunately, by looks, are going to have to come off at half time. And we're still not pressing when they're bearing down on us in defence. And we've conceded another one just through not pressing. I mean, hold on. Before we see this highlight, have I accidentally changed something here? Because out of possession, we've got more often trigger press. We're going to put on use tighter marking and see if that makes a difference. Because we've not been doing this in previous matches. But the 2 matches we've seen in today's episode against Watford and Crystal Palace, just a lot of this. Just letting them play with the ball outside the box. And inevitably, eventually, you're going to see a shot. This one from outside the area, but regardless, if you let them play with the ball long enough, they are eventually going to have a pop. Otterson here off that free kick, then Pellegrini plays in Milan. Asprilla now, Asprilla just not enough power on that, hasn't put enough power on it, hasn't placed it. It's just quite a very tame shot to end the first half, really. And we are still above them on XG. We're going to tell the team to go out and continue playing the way they have been playing. I mean, if we get the same result in the second half that we did in the first half, then we will win the match 4-2, which I guess we would be absolutely fine with. Once again, though, we're sacrificing possession to Crystal Palace here, and normally we are the guys that are ahead on possession, not behind. Corner here from Garner, then Garner into Pellegrini. Pellegrini's put another one home. This is 20th goal of the season for us, and it's not quite yet January. And again, I'm in a position of, do I leave him on, see if he can grab his hat-trick, or do I take him off and keep him fit? I feel like we're going to leave him on until maybe the 65th, 70th minute, and then we will take him off if he hasn't already scored his hat-trick, which it doesn't look like he's going to. We're going to make that substitution now and see if we need to make any other ones as well. So we take Pellegrini off, we'll bring on Del Taylor in that position, and Sorensen also probably needs to come off in defence, so Sanderson can come on from him, and then we'll see if we want to make another substitution in a minute. Milan looking pretty tired. Asprilla's also pretty tired, and this run of fixtures is slowly killing off my team. We're going to bring in Levy Colwill, looking pretty tired as well now, but I don't really have anyone to replace him with, so we'll replace Garnett instead. Bring on Ryan Yates just to shore up that defensive midfielder position, protecting the back 2 central defenders. It's another corner for us. Williams into Colwill. Colwill's almost managed it. I think that's an own goal from Callum Robinson. It is, and I really want to see the replay of that because it looked like he went for a diving header, but I'm really not sure here. Colwill has come off. He has. I don't know what's going on there. I've never seen anything like that in Football Manager. Is that a bug? Was that a weird bit of replay? I really don't know. Diving header. He's scored a beautiful goal. Unfortunately for Crystal Palace, it's in the wrong end. But we'll take that one. It's an own goal, but it puts us 4-1 up against Crystal Palace, who are, like I said, in 4th place. So, although we've lost to Watford, I think we've got Luton up pretty soon as well. So if we can beat them, we'll be at least assuring our place of 2nd place for a little bit longer. So Luton, as it stands, about 5 points behind us. Palace at the moment dropping down into 5th, and we're putting a little bit of a gap between us and 3rd and 4th place, which is exactly what we want. If we can then just keep up our good form, eventually we're bound to catch up with Watford. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we won't. But it's putting us in the best position to do it. Alex Milan through on goal here as well. I mean, again, woeful defending from the Crystal Palace defender. Milan's just snuck in there to tap that one home. It literally gifted a goal on a silver platter there. I don't think we're going to see Milan score an easier goal this season. Just powers it at the goalkeeper. Their defender's first touch is atrocious, and he's just snuck in and tapped that one home, and it's 5-1 up against 4th place, well, formerly 4th place Crystal Palace. And again, this is quite morale boosting for the lads, I would think. We've got some very tired legs out there, but nonetheless, they've come away with a 5-1 win against promotion rivals Crystal Palace. And it does, again, put us just 2 points behind Watford, which makes me think, did Watford drew against Sheffield Wednesday today? So we've managed to catch up with the gap that we had at the start of the episode. We're now only 2 points behind Watford. It does mean if Luton win their game in hand, they're only 2 points behind us, but I'm pretty sure if I have a look at the schedule, we have got Luton coming up fairly soon. In fact, Luton are the next match, so we've then got the matches against Luton and against the Watford in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, and then Watford again in the Championship. And because these are such important games, I am very tempted to come back and show you the Luton match and the Watford match in the next episode. In fact, I think I will. Next episode, we're gonna see the very next matches, which is the match against Luton, and then either the Carabao Cup quarter-final or the Sky Bet Championship match against Watford, even though we only just saw them today. So one very high scoring match to begin the episode, and then a second very high scoring match to end it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you do want to follow along with the series, if you could subscribe to the channel. It is obviously completely free, and if you press the notification bell as well, YouTube will let you know every time I upload anything to the channel. We've got some cool stuff coming up, and if there's anything you would like to see in particular, then do comment down below and we'll try and get that onto the channel for you. Until next time though guys, thank you very much for coming over and watching today, and I will see you over on part 9 of our stint at Nottingham Forest.